Hello, and thank you for joining us today. My name is Kristen Yor, and I serve as the Compliance and Monitoring Project Manager within the Fiscal Division here at the Department of Aging. I am pleased to present this webinar regarding our 2024 Subrecipient Monitoring Plan. The goal of this session is to provide further instruction for your upcoming monitoring engagement. This webinar session is being recorded and distributed for future reference. As a pass-through entity, ODA establishes procedures to ensure compliance with administrative, fiscal, and programmatic requirements. Subrecipients, in turn, are responsible for implementing program objectives, ensuring compliance, and meeting performance goals as it applies to the subaward. We use a coordinated, risk-based approach to determine the nature and extent of our monitoring activities. Our objectives are to mitigate the risk of noncompliance, ensure timely remediation of any findings, and ensure program objectives are met. This approach allows us to target areas of higher risk when determining our annual scope for monitoring engagements. Our procedures include both aggregate and engagement level risk strategies. First, we identify key risk factors. This could include changes in personnel, location, new or updated systems or programs, changes in laws and regulations, or results of other audits. We will then assess these risks in conjunction with other administrative and staffing assessments to determine the proposed scope and schedule. When determining the monitoring schedule, we will also review the extent of activities occurring in past cycles. For instance, if an agency received a site visit in the most recent cycle and no significant risks were identified as part of this process, then a desk review may be scheduled for the planned cycle. Monitoring engagements will be completed as a desk review or a site visit. A desk review is conducted remotely and includes a reduced scope of procedures. These procedures may include a review of audit reports, grant closeouts, internal systems and performance reporting, or other evidentiary records of compliance. A site visit, on the other hand, includes a full scope of procedures, such as on-site interviews and observations, system analytics, transaction-level testing, and a review of financial and programmatic reports. The site visit also includes areas of technical assistance and feedback. Both pre-site and on-site procedures are included within the site visit engagement. Regardless of the engagement type, the timeline and deliverables on the upcoming slides will remain the same. As part of the monitoring plan, tools are developed to implement the scope of procedures and support the quality of the engagement. Staff complete the monitoring tool and work paper summaries to support all fieldwork conclusions. The monitoring tool also includes a variety of quality controls, such as supervisory reviews and reporting and finalizing checklists. For the 2024 cycle, there will be one monitoring tool encompassing all areas of review. The Request for Information tool is updated to provide each agency with the list of documentation needed to complete fieldwork. Requests for information may include policies and procedures, agency questionnaires, general ledgers and system reports, and various transaction-level documentation evidencing compliance. The Request for Information tool will be updated throughout the engagement, all the way through to the conclusion of fieldwork. This provides the agency with a comprehensive record of requests for the engagement. If a site visit engagement is conducted, staff will utilize a site visit checklist to ensure all procedures are addressed on site. Similarly, an agenda and site visit guide have been developed to provide your agency with a detailed list of expectations to help you prepare for the site visit. Lastly, the monitoring report will provide a summary of the review, as well as monitoring outcomes and corrective action for any findings identified. There will be one coordinated report for the engagement. The monitoring team is here to support you, so please do not hesitate to reach out for clarification regarding these procedures or tools. Now we'll discuss the expectations for the engagement. First, typically around November, we will issue the pre-communication via ODA notice. This notice provides the monitoring schedule for all subrecipients. Approximately 30 days prior to the review month, we will send the engagement notification via email. The notification will be sent to the agency director as well as any other key contacts as directed. With the engagement notification, the agency will also be offered the opportunity to hold an entrance conference. Fieldwork will take place during the scheduled review month. Within 15 days of the conclusion of fieldwork, the draft report will be provided with the option to hold an exit conference. If any findings are identified, a corrective action response will be required within 30 days of the exit or waiver of the exit. Within 15 days of the corrective action, the final report will be provided and the engagement will be closed. As you can see, the engagement timeline can be divided into planning and administration, analysis and response, and outcomes and remediation. I'll go into each of these within the subsequent slides. It is important to note each of these deliverables are dependent upon one another. Therefore, any delays may impact the closing deliverable for your engagement. The ODA notice includes the full calendar year schedule by subrecipient. The notice also includes the review month, engagement type, and additional instruction. The engagement notification will include the request for information tool and details specific for your engagement. The request for information tool will include due dates, request details, and key contact information should there be any questions. During the engagement notification, the agency will be provided a timeline to hold an entrance conference. The entrance conference is optional, but a great opportunity to introduce new staff to the monitoring process. Fieldwork includes a review of internal control policies and procedures, testing of documentation and systems, discussion with staff, observation of key processes, and various analytical procedures. During fieldwork, staff utilize the tools as we discussed earlier to conduct the monitoring engagement. The draft monitoring report is the formal presentation of the engagement outcomes for the agency's review. If findings are identified, a request for corrective action will also be included. At the time of the draft report, an opportunity to hold an exit conference will also be presented. The goal of the exit is to discuss the results of the review, including any findings, corrective action, or any other questions or concerns that the agency may have. The corrective action response due date will be set 30 days from the exit date or from the date the draft report is accepted, should your agency waive an exit conference. The draft report will include a corrective action section for the agency to complete and submit. The corrective action response should clearly detail how the agency plans to remediate any findings, an estimated completion date, and the agency contact person. Once the corrective action is reviewed and accepted, the agency will be provided the final report and cover letter to conclude the monitoring review. That concludes the webinar. Thank you again for tuning in. Should you have any questions or concerns, please do not hesitate to contact me. I would like to thank you in advance for your partnership in making the monitoring process a success. I look forward to working with each of you during the 2024 monitoring cycle. Have a great day.